Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Jake Horowitz about the Daphne Project in select theaters now. Eventually we'll get on Fuse Plus. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
It's pretty cool because one of the things, when I started Popternative in 2015, I loved having these conversations with storytellers like yourself about like behind the scenes, the making of things. This is basically like a movie and mockumentary style about the making of a production, which is so amazing. Everyone has an appetite for seeing like how things are made. So what's that like making a movie in that realm where there's an appetite for that, an interest?
Yeah, I think it was really like just every theater person knows how ridiculous it is. like we all sort of know, and everybody knows a theater person who is behaviorally just like completely inappropriate in situations. So honestly, making it just felt like a breath of fresh air. It just felt fun. And it was like we all were sort of like on the joke.
Yeah, but like Zora, like you're like, she has a mission. She wants to make this the best like production ever, right? But like you're rooting for her. Which is amazing.
Well, yeah, it is amazing. And that's just down to Zora.
Yeah.
She and Alex, you know, who wrote it with her. I just think that they made something, where you love to watch her be the worst person ever. and you just want to keep watching it. Like, and it's amazing. It's hysterical.
What was your, like, when this project came into the possibility for you, came on your radar, so to speak, what was your thought about like the style of this, like the mockumentary style? Like, I'm just curious about that.
I was so excited and so surprised that there's not more of them, to be honest. Like, I just think that they're hysterical and heartfelt, and you get like really sort of surprising, honest performances out of people, just because it gives this sort of like intimate, way. It allows you to shoot in a really intimate way. So I was just, I didn't even think. I was just like, absolutely. Yeah. I would love to do this. I also grew up just loving The Office and other sort of like direct to camera interview style shows. So I was like, let's go.
I feel like that show, in a lot of ways, The Office, just set the tone forever for those like single camera, like for those, you know what I mean by that? Like, there's been a lot since, but you know what I mean by that?
I totally do. I think that they're like the first one that you think of, which is both great and also totally unfair. Like, a lot of people do it, and it's and they're all great at it. Like, this movie really reminds me of like Christopher Guest stuff.
Yeah. And
Waiting for Guffman in particular, which I love. And I watched again after we shot this, and I was like, I think we did pretty good. Like, I think we like captured this.
But there's something so delightful about a film. Like, you look at this film, this is an indie film, you know what I mean? I can guarantee you, like, the budget for this isn't crazy, you know what I mean? See how confident I am with like I can guarantee.
You're correct. So, yeah.
No, but it's just such an amazing, and then you watch this and you just love every second out of it. It's a great feeling, and I can't even imagine what it is for like yourself and Zora. Like, what's that feeling like, knowing, like, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, the feeling sort of like now, knowing that it's like it's sort of been realized in this way, or the feeling when we were shooting it.
But a little bit both. Like, shooting it, I guess you could tell, but then when it's kind of like when you wrap and then I guess you see the product, there's a different kind of mindset, I guess, right?
Yeah. I was so happy when I saw the screener, the way that it had been realized, how smoothly it all goes together with the music and the performances. It's like, it just has a perfect rhythm to it, you know what I mean? And like all of it's like funny in the right places. And then it's also sort of like very somber and serious in other moments. Like when Zora is like, no, I'm really ready for this. Like sometime in the final act, I think after Tyler leaves the show and she goes to talk to the director to read. I'm just thrilled. It just feels really cool. I feel really proud of it. I feel really proud to be in the thing with them, and with Zora. I think just gives like star making performance, and
So
that she
good.
wrote it. She crafted this whole thing from, it's inspiring even to just write that, to realize it in this way. It's like,
I know. Amazing. It's so crazy. I did want to ask you quickly about another project as well. I talked to you before we started. I mean, The Vast of Night on Prime Video. I love that movie so much. Yes, sir. I have specific questions, but I just want, you don't have to go into detail about this. I just want a yes or no answer to this question, because I feel like if the answer is no, that would be really cool. Were you aware? Did you get the whole script? Did you know how it ended? Like before shooting?
For Vast of Night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Could you imagine not knowing that ending though?
Yeah. He just there's just 3 blank pages at the end of the script.
Could you imagine like how emotional that would have been like for you?
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
It was emotional anyway, because we really went up until like sunrise on that last night, and the last shot really is the well, I'm not gonna say, but one of the last shots, and that really was like, I think the last one that we did, and it was just like everyone was like, we've been staying up all night in Texas for 4 weeks.
Well, you know what's interesting about that one is I don't think because I'm a huge horror movie fan. This is more kind of a thriller, sci-fi, and everything, kind of a genre-bending movie. I do think though some elements of it can really be. Like the horror movie fans will eat it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's necessarily like a horror movie. Do you know what I mean by that a little bit? Yeah. Yes,
totally. I think it blends, what you said, horror, thriller, and sci-fi into one sort of like, and it's moving. You always think it's going to go in a different direction, but it doesn't. But I think it definitely has a lot of those elements of like, the sort of the characters with like lore behind them that horror movies use so much, and that we love those characters in it. I think it uses a lot of sort of, not tropes, but just patterns of those characters, but then it puts a whole new lens on them.
I can't even imagine like the dialogue you had to know for that, man, especially the first scenes of that, just like chatting and going to the game. Like, I mean, that was really well done, man. But I'm just curious, like, there was a lot happening in that movie with your character. Let's be honest, right? Was it intimidating seeing like a lot of that dialogue though? Like it was a lot of dialogue, right?
It was the most intimidating thing of my life. I was terrified, and I was just like, every night after we were done, I was like, I think we did, and Andrew, one of the things that he really did was he made the time to get close to Sierra and I before we started shooting. So we really had like something. And so I really just knew that I trusted him. And I was like, all right, like, I think we're getting it. And every day was, because some days would just be like half a page, because some of those shots are so intricate, but then other days we'd shoot 15 pages and you'd just be like, all right, I hope we got it, because like we're not coming back to that. That was 15 pages of walk and talk. I
just feel like the timing of this movie, just available on Prime now, I just feel like with Stranger Things and all the thrillers and the horrors, like I just think it's the perfect time for this movie to just be discovered by more people that haven't seen it. Do you know what I mean by that?
yeah, I do. Thanks, man. Thank you. I'm glad you think that.
Like around October, this is when people do those, like, because I do a horror movie every night in October. You know what I mean? That's like my thing. Cool. This is one they got to put on the list, 100%, right? They have to they got to do this one. This is a popcorn-worthy thriller.
Absolutely have to. It's definitely like a watch at night with the lights off, get yourself a little freaked out sort of movie.
And I don't want to get into the spoiler, but the ending of this movie, oh my goodness. The ending of this movie is crazy. Because it's one of those things where it totally catches you off guard, because it's like obvious, like maybe that could happen, but like I didn't think about it at all watching that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just one
totally,
of those. Yeah.
The last 5 minutes is totally different. Like it just sort of comes out of
absolutely. No, it's great. But the Daphne Project is great too, and they're gonna be able to check that. It's in select theaters around New York area, and then it's gonna be eventually on Fuse Plus. Jake, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Thank you for having me, man. It was great to be here.
Yeah. Instagram, is there an Instagram they can follow you at to keep update with everything?
Yes. Jake Horowitz 94. Find me.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Jake Horowitz and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.